break it down. Okay, so we have this. I mean, this should be easy. I actually animated the Kyoko logo, not in this one, but this is my animation I made. And then we start out with the scale out. You should know that it's actually on the clip. And I did a fusion clip for this. I don't know why I did this. I think I was doing something else. But you can just do this with a regular cut. And there's just a big exposure flash inside the clip. A regular exposure, you got blur here. And then you go inside. We see it's actually a glow, soft glow flash instead of, yeah. I don't know what I was doing here. It's been so long. Next, we have a slide up, and then I have this little manual blur that I put. So we just put like a directional blur right here, and I don't know, it just looks good. This is what Brendan does, but I usually like BCC stuff. This one is just directional blur, keyframed, not keyframed, just like that, and it helps blend the scene more. And it also helps hide that motion tile without actually having to use like motion blur on the clip. So you don't even know, like, this is blend pretty good. It's also for one frame. And then we have this scene. All right, this is the next clip. So we have a slide up, and then we have a slide to the right. As you can see, this is right here, this is motion tile, but you can't tell it because of how good the scene is. And I also blurred out this part, so you can't really, you don't really know. And it's showing the clip that's behind it in the edit page, which is this clip that's here. And that's where Hori's face is. And so what do we got? We got a mask right here, which I think was supposed to be on around, oh, this is just the window. I used to have it around Hori. Yeah, and you see that'll be the whole thing, but I got rid of that. And then it's my transforms. A bunch of them, I don't know why, but this one I think matches. I copied this, and so it is the same motion. So copy this node, paste it into here, which is the next clip. And so this clip has the same motion, but I offset it with a different transform. This is okay. Ignore this. This is just the mask for Hori. I might get into that one day, but yeah, that's all. This stuff is just a mask. This is before I knew about all the other stuff that I knew. This is Hori's animation, and then the regular transform. We have the offset transform, so you can use this animation that can match the other one. And then we have this other transform, which is the next animation for the next scene. So it goes like that. So each one of these are different movements. If you look at the spline page, you can see. And then I think actually this one's the out. Actually, yeah, something like that. And I use all I'll do is use S curves because that makes a really smooth motion. And then this fades. This is a mask since she's masked out, and in here I switched from a not masked version to a masked version of Hori. Then it goes to this scene, and this is just a slide with a little shake. And then this manual flicker I have is just me keyframing the exposure up and down. And then yeah, that slide down out. I usually put most of the motions in one node. Separating actually makes it more easier to work with. Yes, and then you could isolate, and then it's much easier, and then it makes the edit look much smoother. If you put keyframe after keyframe, sometimes it doesn't look very smooth. Do you mask frame by frame, or is there a roto brush in DaVinci? Mask frame by frame, or you could use runway ML, which I did in that recent video that popped off for me. But the masking that I did here is a bunch of keying. So it's like I'm taking out a certain color from this, and then I'm also taking masks and making sure it's not affecting certain areas. And then I get it to where I want. I took, it's just a whole process. And then I want to take the mask and I masked it again, trying to get some different luminance values in there. And then I took the mask, put it into Mac Control, and then I replaced it back on some original footage so it looks normal. Sometimes if you key it, sometimes you do some other stuff. You want to remask it back on top so it looks fine. And then I put a shadow, and then I put this. So I wanted to make a keying tutorial, but when I tried to explain it, it was like it's really confusing. Okay, because I gotta explain a lot of things, but I had to make a script for it. Explain how the Mac Control works. I don't get it. All you really need to know about the Mac Control is that it helps you mask. So remember when if you see my masking tutorial, I do that thing where I do this and I do this, and then oops, I do put the little pipe like this, and I put the mask here. That replaces all that with just the Mac Control. So put this here, and then if you want to get your mask, let's do like mask out this really quick or whatever like that. Really rough mask. And then you connect it to your garbage mat. It will literally take it away, and then if you invert the garbage mat, you'll have your thing isolated. So that's basically what I use it for. If all the other settings, I'm not sure. I think it's for like cleaning up keying. So that is mostly why. But that's why I use it. Okay, this is the next thing. So on this clip, I have a defocus. This is the background clip for the phone. I have a defocus gamma with the settings up. I have a transform node that's kind of moving the clip up so it matches the phone animation. I have a brightness and contrast so it makes it lower, and then I also have a vignette that's animated, so it gives a little bit more of an animation here. And then this is just for this bottom clip. This is for this clip because that's the original clip is this that is right here. Then we have this fusion composition, and this houses this whole phone that I reconstructed pretty much. So if you take a look at it, you're gonna panic because there's so many nodes, but everything is very simple. I literally, okay, so this is the background. This is a 1080 by 1920 comp. It's just white, and then I added a little blue bar at the top, and so I can't really show it together, but it just has a white and then blue, and then I added a black bar. Then I added little squares and then a little line, and then I put the little battery symbol like this, and I just recreated it doing this. Everything is just shapes. I did that, each one rectangle, and then each rectangle, bigger rectangle, and then this rectangle is just one of them, which is masking for red, and then I'm putting that on top of that. And then everything's getting merged on top of each other with this multi-merge tool. This is from Reactor. It's just a bunch of merges. You can merge everything on top of each other. And this is the text. This is more text, but I actually got rid of it for this, so I can make a plate like this. So this is the phone screen, and then put a mosaic blur so it was a little bit more pixelated, you know how it was in the old phones. And then I literally just right clicked and then save image, and I made this a picture, and so I put it back in. If I just render all this stuff with everything, it's gonna lag a lot, so I just rendered it, and then I got this. I merged the text back on top, and then I started adding more things. So this is my group reps at the top. So I added a little bit more, and then mosaic blurred again because I didn't render with the mosaic blur. I just rendered the multi-merge. Scaled it down in order for me to add like the little phone. So the phone, super easy. Literally a red solid. Put a black screen on that, and then you see it. That's like the keypad, and then like this is the phone. Made it darker so it matches the darkness of the scene, and then put it like that so it looks like it's on the phone. Put a soft glow, and so it looks like the phone screen is bright, and then I merge this on top of a regular background so it changes from a 1080 by 1920 to a 1920 by 1080, so it's like that. Then I use a DVE to make it angled, so this is like 3D without putting it 3D. It makes you can control the angle and stuff like that. I don't want to mess with it because it's gonna recache. This is the animation of the slide up. This is the animation out. This is the zoom out. And then this is, what is this? This is a background I was going to use, but then I replaced it. And then that's the whole phone. Next we have this scene, but I'll read chat first. This should be easy. Zoom out with a flicker. A little bit of a diagonal zoom, not diagonal, but I put the pivot point over here, and then it goes the same thing, pivot point over here, and zoom in, and she's Twix moving, and then slide like that. And then this scene was cool. Like this, the elevator door was opening, so I used that as part of the slide for this, and then do this. He's walking Twix, and then he runs into her, so I put his same reaction here, and it's like that. He's Twix, and then he's moving up while he's being opacity fade. This one took a long time to figure out the right movement for. Like, you can barely see the motion tile, but yeah, it's there. It's the fade. I don't know if I used the actual fade. No, I used a fade inside here, which is I use my opacity mask thing, which is it's basically a background and a merge put together, and then your input goes on the green, and then you use it. This is going to be no alpha, and you just put the blend down, and that's how you fade like that. And that's exactly what this is inside this node. And I got all the other movement, and then it goes to, it slides here, which is a little stiff, but it's okay. And then have this fades out to this next scene, so I didn't have to like zoom out that much for that one. But and then have it Twix really badly here, retimed flicker. We got the little blur, and then we have it slide to here with my shake. So I use Brendan shake I use, which is basically just bobs up and down really nicely. I made it. I'll be in the pack, but yeah, I use it a lot. And also on this, there's a slide, and there's also a slight bit of a zoom in on her face. And so I'll be like that. All right, so let's go to the second part of the edit, which is the different scene. This is the first part of like episode 7 before Mia, and then I got the second part that's here. Basic zoom out with a shake, which is probably a little too strong. But I also have, I think in this clip, I added the second scene here. Try and be creative. I don't know, but it is me. Fergie, hi, what's up? This is the clip, and then I keyed it out terribly, and then I painted her eyes out because I didn't want it to bring attention to it. I transformed her, so I just flipped her and then moved her. I put some blur on her, and then I blended her with luminosity on this little bright part of the image, and then I masked out this so it doesn't go over too much. Here was supposed to, where is here? This is my rep for group, and then I was supposed to put particles on the scene, but it looked really bad, and also I have some problems with it, so I didn't end up doing that. Next scene we have is zooming into the bottom right, and I just have I think I have a vignette with a little bit of flicker. Yeah, vignette and a flicker addition. Vignette's keyframed so it gets smaller, and then we have a slide, and then with the Brendan shake, up and down, and then. Alright, so looking back, I forgot to talk about this scene, so I'll talk about it right now. So we have first scene just like this, then I have another scene coming in with his face like this. He's looking away, and then he's doing a movement. I also Twix that scene, then I transformed it up, put the brightness, I did nothing with that. I don't know if I said that. I don't know. I think I did something else, but I blurred it, and then I merged it over using a blending mode, I believe. Actually, I just blended it and then burned it a little bit. Burned it, well, less than I thought I would. And then I also masked them out using a Lumix here, or actually no, masked out this little area, so this scene will only show up in this little area between here. And then I have vignette. Then I have used this footage to drive a chroma key here for. Actually, this is irrelevant. Look at here. Okay. What is this? I put raise, so I put a polygon mask to hide her out, and then I put raise on the scene, is for her eye. So it does something a little bit right here when it goes to a certain point, like I see right there. There you go. Yeah, like from the blend right there, as you can see. And then I put raise on the clip again, and this is just here. So whenever it's bright over here, I have the rays that are coming down through here, and then because there's a vignette on it and it's darker over here, and I move the vignette, the position, center position. That's what I did here. It goes starts on the left and then it goes to the right, so you have attention over here, and then it draws it all the way over here, and then it draws to her eye over here. And so that could sort of those rays over there, and then it helps to shine those rays that are here from here. So yeah, that makes sense. And then that's the whole scene. And yeah. And we have this with the clip here, and then we have it luma fades over this clip terribly, and then with the flicker, and then like I don't know, it just worked perfectly where it just lined up perfectly. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do that. And then I have this clip where I kind of almost zoom nicely into it. And then I do this thing where I ghost like part of the retime. And that's just opacity one and then retimed two different clips. So I decomposed one and then recomposed it. And then I did a different retime, so it goes on like that. And then this is just basic cuts with Twix. Yeah, that is it, really.